Hey everyone, my name is Edmund Yan. I'm here with my two partners, Jennifer and Cindy. We are the attorneys at Amity Law Group. I know that because of COVID-19, because of the protests, the markets and the financial outlook here in the United States could seem a little bit bleak. But I know for a lot of you as parents, you still trust that you can do something, especially for your children now so that they can benefit in the future. And so in today's video, we're going to share 3 tools to invest in your children's future. Because I know some of you might be asking, how do I save up? How do I invest? How do I protect my wealth so it can benefit my children today and in the future? And so we're going to share those 3 tools. Jennifer, can you share the first tool?
Sure. So the first tool really is a college savings plan. It's called the 529 plan. Essentially, it's a plan that you save money into this account, and it's only to be used for educational and type of college purposes. It has some tax and financial aid benefits, and the contribution can be up to $75,000 or $150,000 for a married couple each year for each beneficiary. So a lot of times it's popular where parents set this up for their children and start saving for their educational costs early on. So me personally, I have 2 kids and I have set up 2 accounts for each of them. And they're the beneficiaries basically of these accounts. And so anytime when they're ready and they're applying for colleges, then they'll be able to use this money to pay for those tuition and related costs. One thing that you can also keep in mind is you own this account currently. You're the owner of the account, so you can make changes to the beneficiary at any time. Actually, my husband tapped into his 529 account or our 529 account for taking online classes, and you could do that for yourself as well. And so it's a benefit not only to your children for their future, but in case you decide to go back to school, you want to learn a new vocation, you can also tap into this money for yourself. And that sometimes people will wonder, what if my kids don't end up going to college? They decide that's not for them. Then you can also use that money yourself, to go back to school, to go to a vocational college. That's also something that can be beneficial, not only for your family, but for your own benefit. And then withdrawals from a 529 plan can be taken at any time. For any reason, but keep in mind, if it's not used for a qualified educational expense, there may be taxes due at the time of withdrawal. So currently I know that there's a 10% federal penalty tax if you're going to be using the money for something other than education. So just keep that in mind, that there is a potential for use outside of education, but of course you might have to pay a little bit of a penalty to that.
Yeah, thanks, Jennifer. Another account that a lot of parents use is called UTMA Accounts. Some people pronounce it as UTMA, but these accounts were created under a federal law called the Uniform Transfers to Minors Act. And the reason why a lot of parents use these types of custodial accounts is that before children reach the age of 18, they're not legally allowed to own their own financial assets. So for parents who want to have their kids start saving and investing, they typically open up what's called custodial accounts and for their kids. And for this specific custodial account, UTMA, it's an account that holds money on behalf of your minor children until they reach a certain age. Typically, parents set it to 18 or 21. And what that means is, while the cash is in this account, it continues to grow because this is an investment account. And so let's say you start now at ages when they were newborns, and by the age of 18, the more you put in, the more you save, and the more it invests in the market, the more it's going to grow. So by the time your kids are 18, they can use it for whatever reason they want. They can use it, for example, for education, just exactly what Jennifer was talking about, or they can use it to buy a car, buy their first home, start their own business. Whatever they want to do with it, they can do with it. Now, the drawback with these types of accounts, I'm going to get into more detail later, is that they have full access to it. And so they can do whatever they want with it, which is they can go to Vegas and spend it all on a weekend. So first I want to talk about how a UTMA account works. So you actually appoint a custodian to take legal possession of the cash on behalf of your minor. And so once you set up these accounts, they actually become irrevocable. So you can't take money out of it yourself. And you need to appoint a third party as a custodian to manage and invest these assets for your children. So that's one of the drawbacks that a lot of parents don't like, because it's out of their control. But the advantage, there's a few advantages that these types of accounts give to parents. For example, it can help you save taxes. So because the account is treated as the minors rather than the parents, the earnings, the income that the cash produces are generally taxed at the children's tax rate, which is generally lower than the parents, especially if the kids are still minors and they're not working. So for some families, this can provide significant savings. And it also provides asset protection for the parents, because since the account is not owned by the parents, whatever money you put in it, it's no longer your personal asset. So if you get sued, if you file for bankruptcy, that money you put into these UTMA accounts are protected from your personal debt. So those are some of the advantages. Now, some of the disadvantages of a UTMA account is, like I mentioned before, you can't control your children's spending after they reach 18 or 21. So they have a lump sum of cash that they can do whatever with it. So you really need to trust your children and educate them before they get their hands on this money. The second disadvantage is that if your child has special needs, this custodial account could jeopardize their qualification to receive government support. So Medicaid and programs like that, they might not qualify because of all the cash that they now own. And the final disadvantage is that there's no asset protection for your kids. So once they turn 18, they have their hands on this cash, it's theirs. And so if they get sued in a car accident, then the court can take away all that money that you saved up for them for the last 18 years to satisfy that judgment. So Cindy is going to talk about a third tool that's going to help you alleviate some of these problems that a UTMA account can result in. So Cindy, can you tell us what the third tool is?
Yeah, so the third tool is a living trust. So a living trust is a great tool to invest, manage, distribute, and protect the assets you want to leave for your children. Number one, you can control how your children spend the money. So in a living trust, you can state what the money is actually for, and when they can receive it, how much they can receive at a certain point in their life. So there's a lot of control. The second thing is that if your child has special needs, you can structure your living trust so that they qualify for government benefits while also benefiting from your living trust. So that's very, very important for any family that has a special needs child. You definitely, absolutely must consider a special needs trust for that child. These government benefits are very crucial, and you don't want to set it up in a way, set up a trust or leave assets in a way that would disqualify them from these very important government benefits that will help them for the rest of their life. The third thing is living trust will provide is that asset protection. So these assets that are in your living trust, if it's structured correctly, they don't withdraw from the living trust, would be protected from their personal debts. So anything that stays in the living trust is not theirs yet. And because it's not theirs yet, any creditors can't reach it. Also, so as long as they set up and the trust is set up properly and is managed well, they are, you have complete control. So it's, that's something that really can't be underestimated. You can, what I mean by complete control is that you can amend it, and you can change it up however you like as the time, as your children grows and you know, the kind of person that they become, whether or not they are frugal or if they are someone who is going to spend everything. So you can change it as needed. Trusts are typically a more favorable tool compared to custodial accounts because you can direct how a trust is to be used and when it can be accessed.
Yeah, so as you can see, a living trust provides a lot of the investment tools that custodial accounts provide. And we have clients who have a living trust and who also have 529 plans and also have UTMA accounts. And so it's not one or the other. There are situations where the three of them work together to make sure that you're protected and your kids are protected. And the most important point to understand is that your estate plan will change as your family grows. So the tools will change. That's why working with experienced estate planning attorneys who has an ongoing client care program will help you set up your family for success. And that's the type of service that we aim to provide every day for our clients. For us, you're not a transaction. For a lot of other firms, I can't speak for themselves. I can't speak for them, but a lot of clients feel like it's just like a one and done kind of thing. But for us, and as you know, just watching our content, estate planning is more than just a one-time thing. It's a process, and it's going to grow and evolve with your family. So you want to make sure that you're working with attorneys that plan for various milestones in your life, in your children's future, and also planning for your retirement as well, and making sure that your estate plan is strategically developed to achieve those goals. So we do things like offer free annual reviews where we sit down with our clients and look at their plan and see what needs to be changed. And like I said, we aim to build a relationship with every one of our clients. So if you are looking to set up certain types of investment vehicles, protection vehicles for your family, we'd be happy to be of service and to guide you in the right direction. If you like our help, we invite you to a free phone consultation. We are open during this pandemic. And so if you're planning for your children's future, give us a call and we would love to speak with you. Until next time, we'll see you in the next video. Take care.